What it do, YouTube? This is Javier Aguirre from Berkshire Hathaway. Behind the camera, we have Bill Cunningham. Thank you so much for controlling the camera today. And to my left, we have Michelle Garber. She is representing Landmark Professionals today. And I'll pass it over to her to give her a quick little background about herself.
Yeah, hi. I'm so happy to be here and teach about lending. I've been a lender now. I'm on my fourth year. I'm a broker, so I go out and find you the best loan and rate, and I help all over Washington and Oregon, and I will soon be in Idaho. So I do every kind of loan. I even do manufactured housing in a park, which is rare to find because not a lot of lenders do that. But I have a lot of options. I'm very solution oriented, so I try to find you the best scenario. If you're not ready for the loan, then I put you on a game plan to get there. So my biggest accomplishment would be to get you settled in a home and get your family going. So.
And do you have a set business hours for your work?
I work on realtor hours, so I work when the realtors need me, so it's not 8 to 5. Also, when my clients need me, I will answer after 5 weekends. I want to make sure that they are comfortable in the process and they understand everything they're doing because it is a big purchase and it's probably the biggest they'll make in their life.
Definitely. So could you tell me how long have you been with Landmark?
I've been with Landmark 4 years now. I started out as a networking for marketing for one of the LOs, and then 6 months into it, I became a lender. So I started doing that, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I was in retail management for 30 years, so that definitely carries over as far as customer service is very important. And really making that connection with the families that are buying homes. So.
And how long have you lived in this community, been involved?
I actually live in Independence, but I started out marketing in McMinnville. So now I have an office in Dallas, but we have pocket offices all over Washington and Oregon. So I do travel for open houses and to meet with clients. I don't ever set a boundary on what area I work. I even have people that I help down in like Coos Bay and Reedsport. And a lot of that can happen virtually or over the phone. So, yeah, it's a great program.
So with the advances of technology, you've been able to service a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
But as well, if someone's not as technology, have that technology
Like
mindset.
savvy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we get that.
They could also come into your office.
Yes, the office is in Dallas.
Dallas, okay.
Yeah, on Ellendale Drive. So.
Perfect.
But I do meet, I come to people's homes for doc signing. If they have certain documents I need to gather, I'll run to their house. If they have trouble scanning it or, printing or things like that. So.
Extremely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything about our future community here that you're optimistic about within the real estate industry?
No, definitely. That's a great question. I think the building that's going on is a plus. I know they're a little bit higher price, but it's going to open up housing for people who are maybe wanting to upgrade, so then you'll be able to accommodate the first-time home buyer. But building is a big thing for us because there is a housing shortage, as we know. But I think for me, it's like giving the customer all their options. As far as every loan program they can find, and that fits their profile, and then let the family choose what's best for themselves.
At the end of the day, that's really matters.
Yeah, it's all about the families.
Yes. So, is there any common mistakes that people might overlook when coming to look for a loan?
Yeah, so we always try to preach don't use credit or buy a car or change jobs, quit your job, anything like that can alter your pre-approval. I've had that happen, and then we have to scramble to find the solution. But those will definitely could knock you out of the loan program during the process when you're under contract. And if that happens, that's not fun because you've wasted all this money on inspection, appraisal. I had a gal buy a car 2 weeks from closing. Luckily, I was able to figure out the solution on that. and save the deal, but she was in tears, so it's like I try to express that in the beginning of before we even get into contract.
So if a future client were interested in loan options, what would be the best way into get into that process with you?
Yeah, definitely. Usually I'll do a phone conversation, and then I'll go over the steps of the process. Obviously, to apply is the first. I will, during that conversation, ask about employment, income, and debt. Those three things are major factors in a loan, and what you can be qualified for. A lot of times people think student loans don't count because they're in deferment, but we do need to count at least half to 1% of the balance. So that's something very important to think about. It doesn't necessarily knock you out of pre-approval, but it could change what you can afford. So we definitely look at that.
Definitely important for a lot of new first-time home buyers coming out of college.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, in your opinion, what are the most popular used options for loans and the most unpopular?
No, that's a great question. The most popular is FHA. It's a government loan. The minimum down is 3.5%, which is great. Conventional is always a great option as well. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can do as little as 3% down, but you have to meet an income requirement and also have great credit, okay? So that is an option, though, which is nice if you don't have a large down payment. USDA is a fabulous loan. Like, I've bought in a house on that as a single mom, and that's no down payment. Wow. Again, you have to have income limits in your household, and you have to have low debt. That one came about for basically the farming community back in the day, but anyone can use it now, and it has the lowest rates on any of the loans. So that's one of my favorites.
Well, thank you for sharing that with our community.
Yeah.
Now, what have past clients said about working with you?
I do have reviews online. I try to keep it fun and really try to create the relationship. They've had a good time. They felt they were listened to, that I've responded quickly, which is very important. I try to get back to you immediately, if not answer the phone the first time. Again, because I want you to feel comfortable about the process, which is very important, right? Because it's a big purchase.
So now, once the application has been processed with the client and yourself, what are the expectations you like to set between yourself and your client?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because I feel when people come and apply with me and I give them a very specific list of documents, and what the process looks like, it's important, if you're very serious about buying a house, to keep on top of what that list is and react immediately. Because the worst thing is that we can't get you pre-approved quick enough to get into the homes that are hot on the market right now, because I'm missing documentation. So it's very important that you're as receptive as I am during the process, pre-approval process, because the market, as you see, is there. A house goes up and it's gone. So if you truly want to buy a house, you need to be really prepared for that, to react in the moment. Okay, even during the process, when you go to underwriting, there's always conditional. There's conditions, I guess I would call it. It's what the underwriter goes through your file and comes back and says, okay, now we just need these 3 things to close you, okay? So that's where you have to understand that there's a lot of paperwork involved. You got to be on top of it and reply quickly, and things will run so smooth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle Garber, I appreciate your time here with us at the Community Click.
Yes.
Bill Cunningham behind the camera. And is there any final thoughts you would have for our community?
I would just say, you know what? Just work with the best team, which is these 2 guys, and really have fun with it. Like, don't stress if you don't get into a house right away. Know that right house will find you, and it'll all work out. So, I know a lot of times we want things instantaneously because we're so used to touch screens, but we need to just stay the tide, and the right house will find you, and just have fun with it. and enjoy the process because it can get stressful. Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank
this
you.
is Michelle Garber from Landmark Professionals, and give her a call.
Thanks, you.
Michelle.
Dang, you killed it.
Oh, good.
That was good.